Daniel Reeves built his Austin-based digital marketing agency starting with a laptop, a folding table, and a phone. Through years of cold calling, he grew the business to $1.4 million in annual revenue. By year two, managing that growth required a partner. Marcus came highly recommended, a sharp, well-connected 50-50 partner brought in specifically to oversee the agency's expansion. Their 5 years of subsequent growth relied on absolute trust, anchored a formal partnership agreement that split the ownership right down the middle between those two signatures. That arrangement held until a routine quarterly review on a Tuesday in March. The company's accountant flagged a massive discrepancy she found in the operating account. This graph of the agency's operating funds shows the scale of the problem. Over a 4-month window, $200,000 moved out of the account without Daniel's authorization. Daniel isolated the exact pattern: 11 distinct wire transfers scattered across the 4-month timeline. The transfers were highly calculated. They occurred exclusively on Friday afternoons, and the amounts were kept strictly between $15,000 and $22,000. Every single transfer was routed to the same destination, a vendor name Daniel had never heard of, which did not officially exist. The methodical pacing of these withdrawals indicates a systematic theft, executed by the only other person with administrative access to the bank accounts. Daniel ran a search through the state LLC registry to find the identity behind the fictitious vendor receiving the wire transfers. He found a new digital marketing agency registered 7 months prior. Marcus was listed as the sole registered owner. On the new company's website, Marcus was already listing 3 of Daniel's current active clients as positive testimonials for his own services. Marcus was using Daniel's own capital to secretly fund a mirror image of their business, leveraging stolen money to poach their active client list. Disciplined, Daniel sat in his car for 22 minutes processing the discovery. He didn't call Marcus. Instead, he made a single phone call to his attorney. His attorney formulated a strategy to translate Marcus's paper trail into 3 distinct civil claims. The first 2 claims were breach of fiduciary duty, for acting secretly against the company, and conversion, which is the legal term for the theft of operating capital. The third and most severe claim was tortious interference. This visualization shows how the law penalizes the deliberate sabotage of a partner's existing business relationships. Marcus's agency was severing the connections between Daniel and his clients to reroute them to himself. Because Marcus had used his own name on the LLC filings and routed the bank transfers directly to it, he provided the exact documentation required to prove all 3 claims simultaneously. By maintaining absolute silence, Daniel prevented Marcus from realizing he was caught. He preserved the evidence in its raw state, keeping his leverage intact. Daniel's attorney immediately filed an emergency motion to legally freeze all of Marcus's business assets while the lawsuit was pending. A judge reviewed the documented evidence and granted the motion within 72 hours. Marcus's new company was instantly cut off from its operating funds. The strike was designed to financially suffocate the operation before Marcus even knew he was under attack. Daniel continued to ignore Marcus. Instead, he directed his next move toward the 5 clients Marcus had been actively trying to poach. He sent each of those clients a professional email containing a 1-sentence message attaching the court filing number and the asset freeze notice. The response was immediate. 4 of the 5 clients read the documentation and instantly severed all communication with Marcus. Cold, objective legal proof is vastly more destructive to a rival's credibility than any emotional accusation or public argument. Marcus finally hired an attorney who reviewed the irrefutable paper trail and immediately advised his client to surrender. The settlement terms were absolute. Marcus was forced to repay the full $200,000, cover Daniel's $47,000 legal fees, and sign a 5-year non-compete agreement. Marcus's rival company dissolved within 30 days. Daniel eventually hired back one of the employees who had originally left to join Marcus's operation. Over the following year, the agency gained 9 new clients. As the story of the case spread through the Austin business community, Daniel's reputation for methodical competence became a primary driver of new growth. True power in the face of betrayal doesn't require an emotional outburst. Victory belongs to the person who stays quiet and lets the paperwork do the talking.